airport's dead, guys. Look at this.
Now, we have COVID-19 going on, and we have the illegal, unconstitutional TSA groping. Now, this is the Constitution. It says right here, Amendment number 4, the right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrant shall issue, but upon probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the persons or things to be seized.
That one, I've tried that one. I didn't like it.
You guys work for TSA?
No, sir.
No.
Hey, bud, be careful recording because you get in trouble. You can't do that in the checkpoints.
Recording the checkpoint.
I'm sorry?
You can't record around the checkpoint. You can get in trouble for that.
Since when?
It's always been a rule in airports.
Really?
Yeah.
Because I just looked up the rules.
Oh, yeah.
That tells me you don't know the rules.
You want to
You-
get TSA? I could tell you. They'll tell you the same thing.
Why don't you go to TSA on their website and look up the public photography laws. We absolutely have the right to video record here.
Yeah, with media.
Yeah? Do you know about the First Amendment?
No. No.
No?
I'll tell you what.
We have
I'll
free.
get
You're
me.
right, but here's the thing. They can still come up to you, question you,
Correct.
stop you.
Correct.
You
You're-
want to go through
no-
that hassle?
Well, it's freedom of speech. You guys have
Well, what are
to.
you guys trying to do? Do you need help with something?
Well, this is the Fourth Amendment, which
So
civil
you're
rights...
just coming here to stir
Look,
shit up.
don't.
Absolutely.
Listen, bro.
Dude, I
Did-
totally
did we
am
talk- did
on
we-
your side.
All right.
But here's
You cut me off.
yeah,
said
good
I'm-
job,
you
because
said-
I already know what you're doing.
No, you
I've
have-
seen these videos, bro.
No.
I've seen these videos. Bro, you don't want to fuck with authorities, man. Stop fucking with authorities. You don't get into
Okay,
shit.
I now have to
Yeah.
say something, right?
Yeah, yeah.
This country started by fucking with authorities. King George was an authority, and if we never fucked with them, we wouldn't have a country.
But we're
okay?
not fucking with
And
anyone.
Now, and now our
But
rights
we're
are
not
getting
fucking
taken
with
away. We're not fucking with anybody, though, right? We're just sitting here video.
What right are you taking away?
Well, do we have
I'll
to?
show
Do
you
we
right
have to
here.
answer
It
questions?
says we don't have to answer questions.
I don't have to answer questions either.
Well, you work. Don't you work here?
Yeah, I do.
All right. So we have a
I don't
question.
have to
You're supposed to answer, right?
But
Nope.
I'll tell you
I don't have
specifically.
to. I don't work for TSA.
True.
Okay.
But if you want to know specifically, it says the Fourth Amendment, which civil rights heroes, World War II heroes, Revolutionary War
I
heroes,
believe you. I'm on your
constantly
side.
people have died.
I'm all
for.
about freedom of speech.
That's
the right
what-
for this and that.
that's what we're bringing awareness
but the
on.
problem is, dude, when you push the buttons, you get
We're
it.
not
You get
pushing
into
the
shit.
buttons, though. That guy came up to us and asked us, "Hey, you can't do that." But
That's
we
right.
Can do that.
Why
We're
would
not
he say?
pushing
Why?
anybody.
No, he's wrong.
All right,
you
let me-
have,
let me-
you have the ability to do that.
He's-
But I'm looking out for you guys.
Thank you.
They just come up
Appreciate
to you
it.
and they fuck with you.
Appreciate
they'll
it.
pull you back. Cops will come up. They know that you have the right to do that. But don't put yourself in that situation.
Well, why would he give me wrong information then?
What? No, I'm
He's
saying-
cool. We're having a normal conversation.
Yeah. You're good. Yeah, no,
We're good, right?
Yeah, you're good.
All right. It's okay to be wrong, bro. It's all a learning lesson.
Just being a little hostile and just
No. Oh, I'm hostile. You walked up to me and you
Yeah,
and
I
you
just said, hey, I gave you a heads up.
you were very sure that we weren't supposed to be videotaping here. You can't just tell people, hey, if you don't know the rules.
But
I'm
here's
looking
the
out for you
thing.
guys.
Here's
Why
the
would
thing.
we come over here and break the rules?
Anytime there's suspicious activity, it's our job to report it.
Correct,
So-
but it's not your job to give wrong information, is it?
I just said that.
Well, here's some suspicious activity I'd like to report to both of you guys. Right here is the Constitution, the foundational.
Oh, you're
document
one of those guys. Oh.
One of those guys.
Now it all makes sense.
Oh, it all makes sense.
What do you mean one of those guys?
conversation ended.
What
You're
type?
one of those
What
guys.
type of those
You
guys?
don't support.
You're one of those guys.
What is that? What does that mean? Because you don't know
You
me.
probably
at
go
all.
on YouTube and post shit and stuff like that. You're one of those guys.
No, not
If
necessarily.
you could give me 30 seconds of my time,
No,
I'll
it's okay.
gladly-
I'm done with this conversation.
But why would you
don't?
start a
You
conversation
started
then?
You pulled out that. You're
Oh,
one of those guys.
are you offended by the
Are you
Constitution?
offended by
You're just one of those guys.
Okay, let me ask you. So you don't care about the civil rights heroes? You don't care about the World War II
They're
heroes?
trying to beat you.
No.
We were
He
talking
bait
quietly.
himself.
He came over.
He
here
bait
and
himself.
They're trolls.
We didn't force him. We didn't force him to
sir,
do anything.
People died for this country, and the fact that we have illegal searches and seizures.
Guys.
Yeah, I'm right here. Oh, are you talking to them?
Hey, I'll listen to whatever you have to say.
All right, good.
Okay, so
He should listen. I'm sure you know.
will you guys stop? Okay, so the Fourth Amendment is very clear. It says the right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrant shall issue upon probable cause. So this is a violation of the Fourth Amendment, very clearly, correct?
Right. So under 49 CFR of the U.S. Penal Code, right? So it allows us to, when you present yourself for screening, you're not giving up those rights, but you're submitted to a government place. So by law, any government place is governed by a government body. Everywhere inside the checkpoint is considered a government body. So you have to adhere to government rules and regulations. You're free to do whatever you like, whenever you like. But when you submit your stuff for screening, that means that you have to go through the process. It doesn't violate your rights. It's in line with
I would say that it does violate the rights because
it says unreasonable.
I think it's
So
I think it's
reasonable is not based on your determination of reasonable search.
Yes,
it's based on what's reasonable.
Sure.
So because of 9/11 and the TSA Act, which gives us the right to go and search these things because of 9/11, that's what's considered a reasonable search.
Sure, I would.
You know about the Bajinka plot?
well,
Do you know about Lockerbie SWAT?
Oh, yes, I do know about
You
having.
know about all
Lockerbie.
those?
Yes, I do.
Right.
Wait,
so
so
each one of those changed screening.
I know they
from
did.
100% screening to check baggage to 100% screening on the check, because people were able to bring things through.
Absolutely.
What about the shoe bomber and Richard Reed? Do you know about him?
I'm very familiar with that. Do you know about the underwear bomber?
Yeah, that's Rich. That's not Richard Reed.
That's
That was
not.
the guy that came
But the
from try to
underwear-
fly into Detroit.
That would sacrifice liberty for security, deserve and will get neither. So yes, we could always say, hey, look at this terrible thing happening. Look at this terrible thing.
But you
happening.
haven't given up your liberty to be able to.
So you
Because
don't-
once
you don't-
again,
okay,
because
wait,
once
so-
again, it's a reasonable search and seizure. It's not even a seizure. It's a search.
Do you think that being touched by somebody that has not even sworn an oath to the Constitution, when you haven't committed a crime,
Hold on, wait a minute.
you have
Who
a choice.
hasn't
Wait.
served- wait a
So-
minute.
Do you guys swear
We all
an oath?
swear in day
Okay.
one before we even allowed to get our shield. Before we even start, we all swear an oath.
Okay,
Good.
so let me
We all
pose the
swear
question
oath to
differently.
scum.
Okay, well let me pose this question differently. Do you think so? You're saying to me that it's reasonable that you have the choice to either be groped down by somebody you don't know or irradiated. You think that's reasonable?
So most of the screening you're doing is non-physical screening. It doesn't even touch you. And you can go through the whole process without being touched.
But you have to
and
be-
then not
you could
only
be
that,
radiated though,
but
right?
no, radiation is through everything. The sun emits radiation.
True, but
that
there-
cell phone creates more
that's
radiation
absolutely-
than actually the machine in there.
I would argue with
also,
that.
the plane that you're getting on emits 20 times the amount of radiation that you get in a single flight. Gives you more the radiation than being on your phone for 7 hours. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Yes, and it's not shield. The engines are complete radiation. They emit radiation, and it's only a thin layer of steel that goes through. It goes right through. Everything here is protected.
I would
so
still
you're
say, though-
safer here with lower emissions of radiation.
I don't care about safety.
The radiation starts after.
I'm not worried about safety. I'm more worried about my freedoms. But
Your freedoms are still intact.
but
You still
I
have
would
the right.
disagree.
You still have the right and choose to do whatever you like. You can either go through or you don't.
I know, but
That's your
but
option
I
and
don't
your
think
right.
I don't think it's a real choice. That first of all, thank you for talking with me. You've been you're probably. the
He's
most
giving us
well-versed-
informa- yeah, he's very nice.
He's one of the most well-versed, polite people that I've met when it comes to this. I still disagree with the gentleman. I still think that, hey, if you're forced to have to go through radiation, that's non-consensual. If you're forced to give up all this information, you don't have to do that on just driving through the highway. So I think
'Cause you
that
still
is
have the right to
I
travel.
think that is
But
unreasonable.
once again, it's an option that you have. You can either decline it or accept it. Those are your options and those are your rights. When you say that you're giving up liberty, it's only when you accept to give up that liberty, it becomes a non-consensual thing. If I come to you saying you will be searching, you will do this, and you will do that, not give you an option right, to get out of the process, that would be totally something.
But there's no other way besides me to get. If I want to take a plane, I can't. I have to adhere to this process.
But
right?
you also have options, which is your liberty. Buses, trains, cars, walking, bicycling, All those modes of transportation are still available,
But
and they're all
doesn't
still
this-
governed by
but-
TSA.
But doesn't this place get public funds from the public?
No,
Nothing in this airport
we
does.
don't get public funds.
But the airport does.
The airport is served by the Greater Orlando Airport Authority.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's a
TSA
public
doesn't get
place.
public funds?
It's
It's government funds. Yeah, it's taxpayer dollars.
Yeah,
Yeah,
of course
absolutely.
it is. So everything is we're the boss here. We're we the people, right? So why
But
should,
also, I am the people too.
yes, you are.
Right,
But
so-
you wouldn't have your job if we didn't give you your job. Right?
Correct.
Exactly. So why should we the people, including yourself,
Mm-hmm.
have to give up this search, give up our rights, just so we can travel at? Now,
once again,
no, wait,
you
wait,
don't
no.
have to.
Here's the caveat, though. If this was a private airport, then yes, you can tell me what to do, whatever you want. You can tell me to do jumping jacks and
Let me
cartwheels.
ask you this.
But this is a
So
public
let me
airport,
ask you
correct?
this. It's a public airport. So when you go through a stadium and you want to go to a concert, and it's a private place, and
Yes.
it's governed by private people, but
Yes.
you submit to that screening because you want to, right?
Because that's private.
Right.
Yes.
But when you go into a public area, you go, oh, I don't want to because of what? What's the reason? Because it's the government, or do you mind submitting to someone else's will versus to a government's will?
So here specifically, I'm glad you asked. That's a perfect
That's the
question.
question.
That's a good question, right? So if I wanted to go up into Mr. America's house right now, right, and I was like, "Yo, let me get in here," and he was like, "Who are you? You're looking like a pale ass cracker.
Right, you probably-
Get out of my property."
You
right?
probably wouldn't make
And
it past the
I
front
wouldn't.
door, no,
I
right?
wouldn't. But
Once again, 6 feet social distance.
yes, sorry. But
Like this.
yeah, so we're gonna keep this.
I'll talk to you.
However, but a place like a state house or an airport or something that's paid for with my tax money, I shouldn't. That's my house, right? So I
It's the
should.
people's house,
It's
yes.
the people's house. So if I go into his house, which is private property, then he can tell me what to do, whatever I want.
So
But
what's
if
the-
I go into my house, I shouldn't have to give up my right to my house.
Right, you're not giving up your right. You're submitting to the laws of the land, which are established by we the people, or your state legislators, or your state senators. Those are the people who create those laws.
And just
Now,
like-
you select them, you vote for them. So if you don't want them in there, you have the right to not vote for them. And then whatever the 4 years of the governing body is, you can say, okay, we're no longer.
And that's
going to-
exactly why I do this, because the laws that are happening right now are completely unconstitutional, and nobody cares. And we need to educate people.
But education goes both ways. When you read the Constitution, you got to delve into based on the full facts of the matter and understand all the parts of it. You can't just go say one part versus the other.
Well, no, I'm
You
saying
can't
there's
say,
no
well, I'm
probable
giving
cause.
up my freedom.
There's no probable cause.
It's
or warrant.
reasonable. It says reasonable search and seizure, not probable cause.
Well, it says both.
Well, remember, reasonable search and seizure says there's a reason for the search. The reason is to protect the traveling public and traveling security network. That's the reason.
I would say that I think it's unreasonable when there's no crime been committed to have to be searched.
There
right?
are crimes that have been committed.
Well, no, but not by me.
But so okay.
So is everybody
if
guilty before innocent?
Let's say, drinking alcohol at the age of 21 versus 18.
Sure.
You have to abide by that law, but you didn't commit any crime that would cause you to have to abide by that law. Correct.
Well, that's
To have a driver's license is a state law. Did you do anything to violate that to have to adhere to it?
Well, I mean,
It also says
right.
you can't go and kill someone.
Yeah.
Did you do anything to have to make you follow that?
Well, no, but the
No.
thing exactly.
So, but they're there for a reason, to protect others. Remember, not giving up your liberty does not mean that you can infringe upon someone else's right or do something different
I agree.
to affect
I
someone
agree.
negatively.
You can never infringe on anybody's right
So
for
when
security.
those rules and laws and regulations are there for all of us to be safe, and that's why they're there.
Well,
Supervisor Thompson.
Yep. I would normally give you a handshake. I'm sorry for encroaching.
You're good.
You are very polite. You are a sterling example. I definitely still disagree with you about this. However, you are a great person, and you stay safe right now. Keep the rest of us safe right now. And guys, like, share, and subscribe to Auditing America. God bless you, brother. Take care.
Have a good one, man.
Thank you.